Well, we showed you the SpaceX Crew 10 launch live during the 6 p.m. newscast on Friday. What a beautiful sight. And it's probably safe to say two people who were happiest to see it were astronauts Sunny Williams and Butch Wilmore. It means they will soon get to return back to Earth after being at the International Space Station since June.
Remarkable. Now, one of the stranded NASA astronauts, I love this, told her friend she can't wait to return to Houston to tan and walk in the sand. Now, if all goes planned, this time tomorrow, that return to Earth is going to be a reality.
Yeah, and as you may have heard, it was an unexpected stay that kept them away from loved ones all of this time. But as ABC 13's Nick Notario discovered, this could help us all.
Instead of being here at JSC over those 9 months, they could have missed out on a loved one giving birth. They could have continued their education at Sanjak. You could actually get 3 certifications from its aerospace program in less time. You could also see more of the U.S. The Appalachian Trail, which runs from Georgia to Maine, takes only 7 months to complete. And even when they come back to JSC, experts say it isn't like they're going to hit the ground running. All that extra time in space most likely took a toll on their bodies.
NASA astronauts aboard the International Space Station may get a great view of the water 250 miles up, but being that far away isn't always easy.
She just wants to go and walk in the water with her dogs because she hasn't felt sand on her feet for a very long time.
Dr. John DeWitt worked at NASA for 20 years. He's friends with Sunny Williams. She and Butch Wilmore traveled to the ISS 9 months ago thinking it would be a week journey. However, issues with their capsule kept them in space for much longer. DeWitt helped astronauts recover after missions.
1 week, there isn't a lot of time for your body to go through these changes, but over 9 months, there's plenty of time for that adaptation to occur.
DeWitt says while the extended space stay may impact the heart muscles and balance, astronauts exercise on the ISS and can recover in a couple of days. Once they return to Earth to work with doctors at the Johnson Space Center.
This is going to be another rich data set that's going to help us to better understand what to prepare for when we want to go on longer duration missions to the moon or to Mars.
It's not just about studying their bodies. Rice Space Institute Director David Alexander says having 2 extra astronauts on the ISS can be valuable.
It's just like having an extra set of hands in the kitchen, you know. It makes things go faster and better.
The pair traveled to the ISS 9 months ago on Boeing Starliner's first crewed mission. It made it to space fine, but there were safety concerns about the trip back.
If you lose a satellite, you're losing money and you're losing some capability. That's not great. But if you lose a human, that's a whole other different level.
Return trip, more than 9 months in the making.
These folks are space travelers. This is what they live for.
While the view's been great, after that much time in space, they're ready to return to finally dip their toes in the water. Nick Notario, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Godspeed. Well, the journey home begins in just a few hours. At around 9:45 tonight, the hatch on the space capsule will be closed, and just a few minutes after midnight, it will undock from the space station. At 4:57, the capsule is expected to splash down off of Florida's coast.
So much of the country watching and waiting to welcome them home.